Okay, so as I was saying, because I decided to reteach slope, today is going to actually be February 5th and not January 31st. So on the front side of your opener, you have the directions that says complete the function table. Function table is one of our earlier lessons. So all we're going to do is use our input number, our x value, and substitute, and then solve to find out what our output, our y value will be, and then we'll get an ordered pair. With those ordered pairs, we're then going to graph it onto your coordinate plane. Then we're going to find the slope of that line. Remember, slope equals m. And then you're going to find the y-intercept of that line. What does y-intercept mean? What does y-intercept mean? What do you guys think? Nobody has a guess? Y-intercept. What does intercept mean?
This where the y-axis and x-axis meet up.
Well, that's an intercept. So if I just want the y-intercept, it'll be where the line passes through which axis? Yeah, the y-axis. Okay, so first things first, though. What do I input for my x? 0. Do I need to write the function of for this particular equation? Nah, I just need to write y equals 3 times 0 minus 5. What's 3 times 0? 0 minus 5? Negative 5. So my output is negative 5. My ordered pair? 0, negative 5. Good. Okay. What do I substitute for my x value in this next one? So 3 times 1 minus 5. 3 times 1? 3 minus 5? Negative 2, right? So my y value is negative 2. So my ordered pair, my x value? 1. My y value, negative 2. My next input is going to be 2. So I'm going to have y equals 3 times what? 2 minus 5. So it's 3 times 2? 6 minus 5? So my output or my y value is 1. And my ordered pair is? Yeah, 2 comma 1. Okay, my last one here, my input number is what? 3. So 3 times 3 minus 5. So 3 times 3, 9 minus 5. Okay, so my output is 4. So my ordered pair is? Good. I'll give you guys a second to get this down. I know we kind of flew through this. So while you're waiting on me, now that you know your ordered pairs are down correctly, go ahead and label your coordinate plane. So that means label your y-axis and your x-axis. So go ahead and label your coordinate plane and start graphing your ordered pairs.
Is it supposed to be like this?
What's that?
Is it supposed to be curvy?
Nope, it should be a straight line. It should be a straight line. Okay, does everybody have this function table down? Okay. So the first thing I said that you guys need to do is label your coordinate plane. So x and y. And then we're going to graph our ordered pair. So first ordered pair is 0 and negative 5. So that means I just stay put for my x value and I go down 5 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My next ordered pair is 1, negative 2. So I start at the origin, I go to the right 1, and then I go down 2 for my negative. And then my next ordered pair is 2, comma 1. So I start at my origin, I go to the right 2, and then I go up 1. And my last ordered pair is going to be 2, comma 4. Oh, I'm on my third one. Did I do it right?
No, you did it right.
So let's look. Here. Stop. Let's just look real fast. It won't take long. What are my ordered pairs? Somebody tell them to me real fast.
0, -5. You got that. Then 1, -2.
You see it now?
got that. 2, 1. You
Okay.
got that. Then 3, 4.
3, 4. Okay. So my 0, -5 is here. My 1, -2 is there. Then my 2, 1 is here. And now I'm going to do my last order pair, which is start at my origin. I go to the right 3, then up 4.
Tell you the rules or something.
Yeah, you know where they're at. Now, a reminder, when you go to graph your line, make sure your line goes through each of those plotted points. Make sure your line extends through all of the coordinate plane to the very end of the coordinate plane, and then that you have an arrow on the end of your line to show that that line keeps going. Okay. Now, this is going to be the new part here. Kinda. You guys already know how to find a slope of the line. We did that last week. So the first thing we're going to do is find slope. Which variable up here represents slope? M, okay? So I'm going to find the slope of the line. I always start at my lattice point. You can use any lattice points you want. You need to use 2. You can use this one and this one. You can use the first and third. You can use the first and fourth. You can use the second and the third. You can use the third and the fourth. It does not matter which lattice point you use, as long as you use the one starting on the left first. So you're going to go from left to right. If you go from right to left, your answer is going to be off a little bit. So always use the first lattice point going from left to right. I like to use the first one that I come across. It's just easier for me. So my first lattice point is going to be the first ordered pair that I plotted. I'm going to start there. And remember, slope of a line is rise over run. So if I'm going to start with this lattice point and go to this lattice point, am I going to count up to it or down to it? So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So my rise is going to be what?
3.
And then what's my run going to be?
1.
So my slope of this line is 3 over 1. Now, because we counted up, it's a positive slope. But also, you should be able to tell it's a positive slope by the direction that the line goes. Now, the second thing you need to find is your y-intercept. All that means is that you need to tell me what value does this line cross through the y-axis. So here's your y-axis. Where does the line that we graphed cross through the y-axis? What value on the y-axis does that line cross through? What is it? Negative what?
Oh, -5.
Yeah, -5. So it goes through that y-axis, -5. That's all it is. Now, what I want you to do, though, is look what you just graphed. And in the function table, the equation that we use for the function table, it's right up here. It's up here on my opener, but you guys, it's not opening. On your opener, you have y equals 3x minus 5. What do you see that's similar between the slope that we found and the y-intercept that we found?
The y-intercept is negative.
And, yep, that the y-intercept is -5, and that the -5 was in our equation. What else do we see, the similarity?
But it will 3x is
Yeah, our slope, because basically if we simplified 3 over 1, what would it be? If I wanted it in simplest form,
3.
it would just be 3. Do you see that 3 up in our equation? That's our slope. Right here, this here is an equation that we're going to talk about slope-intercept form. So anytime that we're dealing with slope-intercept form, the number that's touching or being multiplied by the x, that's going to be your slope. And then the number that's by itself, that does not have a variable next to it, that's going to be your y-intercept. So today, I'm going to give you an equation, and with that equation, you're going to find what the slope is, you're going to tell me what the y-intercept is, and then we're going to graph it. So we're just kind of adding on to what you guys already know. All right, let's go ahead and flip our openers over to the back. So the back here, they gave me an ordered pair and they gave me a slope. So the first thing I have to do is graph my ordered pair. Now when you go to graph this ordered pair, what's it basically giving us? Where am I going to graph this? On the y-axis or on the x-axis?
Y.
Yeah, the y. So that's going to be our y-intercept. So let's go ahead and graph 0, -2. So I start at my origin. The x value is 0, so I stay put. The -2, I go down 2 spots. So there's my y-intercept. Now, I don't have another point to plot, but I'm going to go ahead and figure out what the next point will be by using slope. Remember, m equals slope. The top number stands for my rise. The bottom number stands for my run. So I'm going to go ahead and graph the slope. So to do that, I start at my y-intercept. And then if it's 4, I'm going to count up how many spots from my y-intercept. If I'm finding my rise first, how many spots do I count up?
4.
So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then what's my run? 3. So I'm going to count over 3. And that's where I plot my second point.
This 2.
So now that I have... Hey, if your phone's on, turn it off. I don't think that was
You
mine.
got 2, Miss Lily.
What's that?
This 2.
Oh, geez. Thank you. Okay. So, now you have 2 points that you've plotted. You can go ahead and draw your line. So go ahead and draw your line. Make sure it goes the same expectations I always have. Ooh, that was a bad one. Hopefully you can draw a better line than I can this morning. There you go. That's pretty good. So from this, we could write slope-intercept form. But we'll get into that a little bit more on the note sheet. So all I want you guys to be able to do is graph the y-intercept and then find the slope from that. All right, let's look at our next graph. So now we have the ordered pair, -2, 4. So, label my coordinate plane here. So if I graph -2, 4, I'm going to start at my origin. Which direction do I go for my -2? So I'm going to go left how many spots? And then for my y value, I go up 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now, that I have this ordered pair, I want to go ahead and plot the next point. I'm going to have to use slope to plot my next point. So my slope is -5 over 1. So I start at the point I just plotted. Because it's a -5, I go down 5. And then go right 1. Good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right 1. That's where I plot my second point. And then I graph my line. Make sure your line does not stop until it goes through all the plotted points. And it goes through the end of the coordinate plane. I'm just having all kinds of problems drawing my lines today. You guys notice that? There we go. See how my line extended through here? It didn't stop right here. It went all the way to the end of that coordinate plane. My line's nice and straight because I used a line that automatically has a straight edge in it. But you guys should be using your ID, a ruler, your folder, something that's a straight edge so your lines are nice and straight. Okay, let's look at the next one. So, I'm ready to go ahead and first thing I'm going to do is plot that ordered pair. So my ordered pair is 1, 3. So I start at the origin. What do I do? And then, good, right 1, up 3. Now, my slope is -2 over 3. Does that negative go with the top number or the bottom number?
Top.
The top number. Okay? Because remember, the negative cannot go with the denominator. So the negative is going to go with the top number. So that means from this point I just plotted, am I going to count up 2 or down 2? Down 2, then what? Write 3. Plot my point. Draw my line. What kind of slope does this line have then? Negative slope, that's right. How many times is it going to take Miss Lidekin to draw a line through her points? Oh my goodness.
You supposed to go the other way.
Maybe that. Okay, that's going to be as good as it can get for today. My goodness, that is terrible. Thank goodness this isn't a quiz. I'd probably lose a point for it not going through my plotted point. But my lines are still better than somebody's. He knows who I'm talking about. Okay, let's look at the last one.
Go down 4.
Okay, I'm just going to go down 4. You sure? But shouldn't I graph my ordered pair first?
You didn't do that already? Oh.
I'm taking a minute today.
Go up 3.
Go up 3, okay, because my x was 0, so I'm going to go up 3.
And then go down 4.
So then for my slope, I'm going to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I need a run.
You're supposed to put 1.
So I can just go over 1. Good. Nice. So what we just did, because it just had a run, a rise, we went ahead and put a 1 under it to give it a run. Nice. Okay. This is going to be my best line yet. Look at that. First try. Any questions on this part?
No.
Okay, go ahead and make sure your names are on the opener. If you would, scratch out the 131 date and go ahead and put 25 on there for me. And then pass those to Rihanna, and then Rihanna's going to put them on the computer desk there.